of your country. But you see, the leadership of South Africa are just doing some window dressing. They just say, okay, we condemn it. How can the police be standing next to a Ghanaian who was being beaten? So for me, I think it is something that the government of the day of South Africa are somehow happy about it, because they've taken the burden from them. You see the pressure from them.
Right.
And now they're promising they will give them job. If you're going to give them job, why are they giving them job and they're hurting our people? So for me, it's something that we have to condemn in no uncertain terms. And I'll call on Ghanaians to support the president not to sign or renew the contract, because I know the president, I'm sure he has a share in the Goldface and maybe MTN.
Yeah.
And if possible, we should have a day of no buying any data or airtime. Maybe one day, let's all decide that we're not going to do communication and see the effect on the business of MTN in this country. You see, let's show them small shaggy, as somebody will say, because Ghanaians, it's not, it is not, we are all one people, it doesn't really matter if they misbehave, we are not misbehaving, we are doing using diplomatic way of also punishing them. We are not taking cutlass and hoes, we are not beating anybody, but we will also use a proper way of dealing with them.
Right.
That's my candid opinion.
All right, thank you so much, Hajia, for your submission. Now let's move to the next. Transport operators disown 20% fare hike. I don't know if the prices have gone up at the pumps, and I also don't know where this is also coming from, that they were planning to increase transportation fares by 20%. But I'll come to you, Prof, on this issue.
Well, the issue about
transportation fares.
Okay.
The transport operators have actually disowned 20% fare hike. What it means is that
they did not approve.
Yeah, they did not have to sanction it. Yeah.
Yes. So, well, the issue about fuel these days, I think, is something that we are all abreast with. The fact that, well, we are seeing some increments in the prices of fuel, and globally there is some adjustment as far as the price of crude is concerned, and also because of what's happening between Iran and also US. For me, I think this issue about increase in transport fare has come up over and over. There are some threats that they will increase, and some government intervention. Somewhere, I think 2 or 3 months ago, transport operators made this call that they will want to increase transport fare. That was when we started seeing the rise in fuel pump price, and government intervened by looking at some taxes on fuel, and they need to remove those that they think can be removed without it hurting the system, and they've done just that. So again, these few days we have seen some increase, and that's why there's this agitation. Of course, I understand some of the plight of these transport operators, looking at the fact that some of them have complained also of not just fuel price going up, but issue of spare parts also going up. But what I would also want to indicate is the fact that this government is not just sitting aloof and just saying that, well, there's nothing they can do about increase in fuel prices, but they've taken measures to remove some taxes as far as the fuel price are concerned, just to make sure that they cushion both commuters and also the transport owners, because once these taxes goes down, it kind of also reduce the prices of the fuel, or the fuel, the pump price of these fuel. Normally, when prices of or transport fare are supposed to increase, it's supposed to be sanctioned by the leadership of the drivers' union, And so if the union have not sanctioned, I think it is just appropriate that those who have increased their fare should not do that, because it creates some kind of confusion, because it's like there's not been formal communication of increase in transport fare. And so when people do that, what happens is that it creates confusion between the commuters and the transport operators, because the commuters are not aware of these increments, and if you just slap these charges on them, it creates confusion. I know, I mean, there was a time where they say a passenger and a driver mate were fighting over 50 pesos or the 1 cedi. Sometimes, yes, you see it and you feel that, but how can you be fighting over 1 cedi? But when you think that somebody is trying to cheat you and you want to take your ground, that is what happened. And so I will say that those who are charging or have increased their fare, they should really look at it. If they feel that there is a need to do that, then they should engage the leadership of the union to make sure that this is announced, or they look at it critically. But to arbitrarily just decide to increase your fare, I think it is not right. And so I will also call on the leadership of the transport union to bring these individuals to book, because they are tarnishing the image of the union. And for me, it also looks as if there's no control as far as the union is concerned, because if you have leadership is to make sure that everyone conform to whatever that's agreed on. If leadership has not sanctioned increments in transport fare, these individuals should not do that. And so the leadership of the transport union should identify these individuals. Of course, they may have a point, but as I said, every institution or every country is governed by law, just like every union is governed by law. Nobody can just lead the union. It's like, this is how I feel I want to do. If you do that, then there seems to be, the union becomes kind of lawlessness, or there's lawlessness among the union, and you cannot have that cohesion among members. And so if these operators are members of a particular union, then I expect leadership of that union to call these individuals. If there is a need to increase transport fares, as I indicated, they should engage leadership of their union. Let there be a consensus, and then leadership would announce to the public that we are increasing our fares by this margin. Everybody is aware, and then it will not create confusion between commuters.
My worry is that operators. The statement issued, the statement has been issued by the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPLT, and the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, GRTCC. And they have clarified that no such adjustment have been approved. But it is not all drivers that are under GPLT. We have other unions and all of that. So this statement, what's the statement seeking to do? To direct that their members should not increase their fare. If I'm not under GPLT and I'm a driver, and probably I belong to another union, and we have increased our transportation fare, GPLT, you cannot tell us what to do. What do you think?
Yes, so I don't know whether GPRTU is trying to exonerate itself from these happenings by issuing out these communique, but I think that there's also still some kind of collaboration among the unions. So GPRTU and other transport union, which I don't have the name of.
Yeah, there are a number of them.
There are a number of them. I'm sure there is some kind of communication or some kind of collaboration among them. If these individuals who have increased their fares are not members of GPRTU, but they belong to other union, the question is, have other unions sanctioned increment in this fare? So I think this other union, or maybe all the unions, should come up clear. If they have sanctioned, then the public should be made aware that yes, we have sanctioned our members to increase their fare. As I said, It's about communication. It's about trustworthiness of the union. If a particular union have not sanctioned and members have gone ahead to do that, then it means that the leadership is weak. But if leadership think that, well, we did not sanction it, and if you are doing it, then the union or leadership had to also get individual to crack the whip on these individuals, because it's not something they have approved. So I think other unions should come up, because the public will want to know if leadership of this union are the ones who have sanctioned, or it is just individuals within the union who have decided that, well, whether leadership likes it or not, I buy my own fuel. It's not leadership who buy my spare part for me when it is spoiled. So if you don't increase, I will increase it. Then we also need to know. But you see, if people do that, then it means, for me, it's kind of also saying some lawless attitude out there, because we are governed by laws. There are certain things it is not to our comfort, but we still adjust ourselves. Let me just take, for example, you are a worker, things are going up, but government comes to tell you, well, you see, things are so hard for government, and so even though those days inflation was 54%, we can only increase your salary by 10%. It makes useless of the increment they have done, because if inflation is, normally salary should be increased according to the inflation, because the increment is to adjust and cushion you. But if something is 54 and you have come to increase my salary by 10%, it's useless, because it means that I will still have to part with about 44%. You know, so all I'm just saying is that, yes, if you are in a union, not everything will be so okay with you. But once that is the decision of a union, just like a citizen, we are all not comfortable. But if government says that this is what everybody should conform with, or everybody should do, we all have to conform with. The same way with union. We are in a union. The union leadership is saying that, well, looking at things, we think that we can still, absorb whatever increments we are seeing, pending some meetings to decide if we should increase or we should hold on. Then you leave and say that I want to do it because it is not leadership that buys your fuel for you. I think that is not right. And so I expect other unions to also come up to let us know if they have sanctioned it. But if not, then these individuals should not cause chaos by just deciding to increase their fare, because as you said, if you go and sample, if people decide to even increase, they may just increase it at their own rate without even doing that comparison, whether 20% or 10% or 30%, and this can create confusion. People fight over 50 pesos change or 1 cedi, and we don't want
just
to
like
see this.
You have rightly mentioned, people fight, passengers and then drivers and their mates are mostly fighting over some of these hikes and all of that. Prof, how do we nip this in the bud? We've had to deal with, transportation fares and its hikes and all of that. And it does appear to me that there's no way we'll see an end to this, because once prices of crude, go up on the international market and it affects the pumps, automatically drivers would want to increase their prices. How do we resolve this issue of, hikes in transportation fares, the fights that come with it?
So there are so many ways that we can look at. That is, one of it has to do with we having our own refinery. And I'm also happy Tor coming out with over how much I forgot.
1.24 billion Ghana cedis profit.
This is so phenomenal. This is a thumb up for them. And this shows that indeed by Papa Abba, we all here in this country, when we're had losses in millions of dollars losses. Today we are talking about profit over $1 billion. For me, it's something that, look, we should not politicize everything, but we should say kudos to them.
Right.
And this is because, of course, this government is really resetting Ghana, and we can see from every sector. So one of it, yes, is to strengthen our refinery. If we want to really control the price of fuel, then we should. Ghana, we have become an oil producing country. So when we get a crude, instead of just shipping the crude, we rather supply it to our refinery to refine it, and then whatever we get, we are able to cushion ourselves. Right. So that is the first thing we need to do as a people. The other thing that this government has done so well is also making sure that we have a sustainable transport system. I mean, not too long ago, we had Metro Mass. Government was able to secure about 100 buses to support Metro Mass units. Yes,
some of the buses are
I've seen a few of them. Yeah. So for me, that is a very good initiative. So instead of everybody driving his or her own car, we all bought this. There are times people do not join these cars because some of them are so rickety. You wear your dress, you want to get off, it hooks your dress before you realize, But when you travel out there, it is more or less like a luxury driving your own car. Yeah. There are buses that I remember when I was schooling. Myself and my professors, we joined the same train, go to work and come back. Nobody would bother to say I'm driving a car. There are buses every 5 minutes. If you miss, one bus, within 5-10 minutes, another bus arrives and then you take it. So if we are able to have a sustainable transport system, I think it will help a lot. I've always advocated that, look, this issue of private transport owners, we should rather look at the possibility of having a state-owned transport system. That public transport system is run by the state, and any individual who wants to do private transport, you buy a share. So that we have, a very decent transport or decent vehicle on our road. We have very good buses that goes to various places at well-planned schedules. I don't think we would want to drive our private cars. If you know that you are going to Accra, if I miss a bus 10 minutes, another bus comes, a decent bus, we will not have our streets choked with traffic. I mean, when you go to a country like Germany, when you talk about technology, that is one of the countries you can get the best of technology. They produce cars, yet you don't see their streets choked with cars as we are seeing here, because they are buses. So you want to go somewhere, you park your car somewhere and join a public transport. Go to wherever you are going. When you come back, you pick your car and go home.
Public transport system is not efficient.
So that is where we have to look at as a country. If we want to, this issue of hike in transport, people want to increase, creative confusion, and then we need a sustainable transport system. We need to fix our roads. We need more buses. We need buses that are also efficient as far as fuel is concerned. Now we are talking about green energy. So of course, instead of maybe relying on crude, we are talking about maybe electric cars. We are talking about energy or engines that are efficient, so they consume less fuel, assuming they are to run on diesel or petrol. So these are things that as a country we need to pay more attention to our transport system. Let's try to really find a way of fixing it, because look, South Africa actually have been there, and when you look at their transport system, the public buses, what we call trotro here, I mean, their cars are so decent. They are so, it's something that everybody will want to join. And I think that we should really look at it as a country. We should not just allow anybody. Some of the cars, they are like, I don't know what to say, but it is just unacceptable. Some of the cars on our road are not acceptable. So there should be a way, as I indicated, a way of having a sustainable transport system. One, which means that we need to also create on our road ways that people who are walking, pedestrian can walk. We should also have bike lane that people who want to bike can go. So at times people want to maybe go to Accra biking, but you dare not try it. You'll be pushed down by either a motorbike or a car, and so you will not try. You want to also join it. But if we create all these lanes, then it's all part of the sustainable transport system, because people will bike if they have to, people will use motor if they have to, and people will walk if they have to. But if you think you are walking and you are not safe, you wouldn't want to walk. And so I think as a country we really need to pay a lot of attention. And government is doing its best. As I said, now we've had 100 buses that would augment the shortage that we have, or we've seen over the few months. And so we are hoping that there will be more buses. But having said that, I think we need to look at the transport system as in general, because even if you bring the buses and the roads are choked with very old cars, very small cars that are transporting just about 10, 12 people, then we would still have that problem, because people will join the bus if the bus is able to move freely. But if the bus is stuck in traffic, and if you have your own private means, you'll be able to, go corners and get to your destination, they will still not join the bus. So it's a whole system that we have to look at. And I know His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, as I said, he is not just coming as the normal president we've been having over the years, but he's coming to fix the economy, and he is fixing it. And this issue of even the transport system is also an issue that he will fix. So in the coming days, we will see more of the buses, but just not buses, but also policies that will decongest our roads and also make commuting more easier for commuters in the general public.
I think that successive governments have not really invested much in public transport. For example, we saw the Metro Mass Transit buses. It got to a point they became so old that some were auctioned as low as 2,000 Ghana cedis. If you look at the Ayalolo, it is not everywhere that the Ayalolo is able to go. And the buses, I'm sure, are not many. So the pressure on these buses, I quite remember some time ago, I've had to pick Ayalolo from Pokwase to Achimota. I got to the place and the bus was full. I had to stand in the bus. And then, STC obviously, intercity. So they, go to the various, cities across the country and all of that. But it does appear to me that enough investments have not gone to that particular sector. Meanwhile, that is one of the sectors successive governments should have looked at. Why do you think that they don't really pay attention to that?
Well, you see, sometimes it's not, I would say it is not just like a government, but it's the minister in charge, because the president is not able to really tackle problems within these various sectors. But the person there, as a minister, you should be innovative. Sometimes the issue has to do with funding. How do you fund government projects? Or you have a policy, I want to do this. How do you fund it? So as a minister, yes, it's not just enough to be a minister. You also have to be innovative. How to get funding for that? And so I would say that it's about the person that is kept there as the head or as a minister. But also there are also issues of priority as a government. What are your priority areas? What are the areas that you really want to make an impact? Maybe the transport have not been something that previous governments have really seen as an area that we really need to pay attention to. But hey, sometimes when you look at the economic cost of being in traffic, it will amaze you. The time that workers spend on the road just to get to work. what we are losing as a nation of having potholes on our roads. I mean, if we put economic costs to them, it is so huge. Because you can imagine, if you are in traffic, you are in Dodowa and you are working in Accra, and you have to be in traffic for 2 hours, 3 hours before you get to work. By the time you get to work, you are so tired. So productivity maybe at 50%. And that is a cost to the government, a cost to the company. So, Charlie, if we want to develop as a country, one way that, well, one of the sectors we need to pay attention is a transport system. We are talking about decongestion in Accra. If our transport system are good, or our transport system is good, you don't need to live in Accra to work in Accra. Again, I gave an example. We've all traveled. People have traveled. Our leaders, previous leaders have all traveled. There are people, you stay as far as Kumasi and you're working here in Accra. When you go out there, because there's a train. Yes. You take the train, within 1 hour you're at work. Very comfortable, just like you're in an aircraft. So relaxing, no stress. But you're not seeing this here. And so I think, I know this government has a lot of plan as far as the transport system is concerned. And we have started, I'm sure by the 4 years, there will be a lot of impact on the transport system. As I said, if you provide buses and we have bad roads, within months, the buses would all break down. Now we are seeing a lot of construction on our roads. Ghana has become like a construction site. The big push agenda is on course. We are seeing so many roads being constructed, and I say kudos to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, a man of vision. We can see the Accra Kumasi Expressway have also started. Sawam, Accra and Sawam Road is on course. Dodowa, when you go, is there. The Aflao, it's so I'm just saying that, look, where praise is due, we need to give. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is a man of vision. He said he would make sure that he resets Ghana, and he's on the course of doing that. And so we all need to give him the support that he deserves to make sure that he makes life comfortable for us. So the transport system, we would see a lot more improvements, a lot more buses coming in, and a lot more work done on our roads to also improve on our movement within our various cities.
Thank you so much, Prof. I'm grateful for your time. Ajia.
Which transport fares are we talking about?
I think...
Do you know I asked this question?
No.
Because transport fares have shot up already.
Already?
Yeah, Kumasi fares.
Yeah, that was before. I think that one is
the buses.
Yes.
The buses. They've increased. I wouldn't hear GPRTU saying anything. And I don't know what transportation they're talking about. Is it the trotro?
Yes, I think so.
Is that the trotro? Is that the trotro?
Yeah, I think any transportation.
You see, there's no order.
There's
no order. You know, formally, before any increment, the government and the road and the transport organization, they meet and agree, and the prices are published in the dailies. Do you remember that?
Very well. Yes,
remember?
I remember. Yeah.
But now it is not like that. As they are sending directives that nobody should increase, they've increased already. Because I live in Pokwasi. My daughter goes to school at Accra Technical. Okay. This year, ATTC. Or is here.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Now from Circle, they don't get the car street. Achimota. You enter. You get to Achimota, they will say the next stop is somewhere before Pokwasi.
Barrier.
So by the time you get home, Prof, you pay 3 transportations. Who is monitoring that? I think about 3 months ago, the National Security intervened, especially from the Pokwasi overhead there. And you had some boys there. If you don't load straight to Circle, they won't allow you to load. You take the right fare. But who is paying them? And how can that be sustained? So leadership, that matter, the GPRTU and so on. You don't wait for people to announce that they've increased to it. Because this morning people have already charged the 20%. In the trotro, fighting. 20 pesos, 50 pesos Western. So I think, as Prof said, you see, the margarine, the medicine of all this is effective transport system.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, my sister spent our days in Cocoa Street, that's Tishinongo Estate.
Right.
When we are coming, the only place we come to was Kokomlemle, our uncle's house, that's the Chief Dagumba, Greater Accra. Alaja Brokari, we call him Baba Sarki. You take the bus, I don't know whether it's omni bus. Then you get down at Opera. Opera, then we'll come, then you get a trotro. We'll get down at Sadi School traffic light and then walk to Kokomlemle. We won't enter anything, you walk. But now even walking is a problem. How many buses are on the route? You know, I was doing, you've seen that, open my calculator.
Yes.
I was calculating the hours I spent yesterday. As I'm sitting, if not because I didn't want to disappoint Pana, I wouldn't have come out. You can see my face. I'm tired.
It's true.
I'm having headache. I spent 3 hours, 20 minutes yesterday in traffic from ACP to Angel TV. I don't know whether you didn't hear about the traffic yesterday. Hey!
Yeah.
Because of that, Prof, I didn't do anything. After the TV, I went back home. And when I was going back after 10 o'clock, the traffic started around Ofanko to Achimota, Tesano, thereabout. If it was to be moving, I wouldn't have made the traffic.
Yeah.
So yesterday, an hour program, I only spent 25 minutes because I went when the program was halfway gone.
And the traffic was that huge?
Yes, it was halfway gone. So I asked myself, look at the fuel I spent, and I couldn't go to talk, to say what I wanted to say on television. So I was telling them that if not because of the relationship, I would have made a detour and go home and sleep. 3 hours because I left 6:10. I got there 9:35 in the morning. So today when I came, you know, I was outside for a very long time.
Yes.
Because I didn't want to experience what I experienced yesterday. You know, we have a terrible road. Please, did you go by air to Kumasi?
No,
you were comfortable. You went to by air.
No, I went by bus.
You saw what happened. You saw the route.
Very terrible.
It's an embarrassment.
Very, very terrible.
To the country. It's an embarrassment. I don't know whether some people decided to go and dig holes there or what. Because the Kumasi road I knew was not what I traveled on the day before yesterday.
Now
because now they play face too. They've sacked us. Because how can you see it in and out? It's 6,000.
That's too much.
It's too much. Or at worst, or 4,600. Just Kumasi. In and out. So most of the people that you saw there, we all came by bus or private transport. Or maybe you get somebody to give you a lift. For me, I went by VIP bus. Actually, I didn't go by VIP. I went with another, but when I was coming, then I said maybe VIP is higher. You won't feel the impact too much. The road is terrible. I know His Excellency is talking about a big push. The biggest push should be Accra Kumasi Road. The biggest push. Because that links with the north, the south, and the north. Like if we even forget about, you see, I'm not saying all roads are not important, but from Takradia to Accra, and from Accra to Bolgatanga Paga,
yeah,
you see, that's the main road connecting the whole country. I think we should focus on that more. We should focus because, in fact, I was embarrassed. When I was traveling on that road, I was asking myself, is this Accra? Is this Ghana? Is this Ghana? You see, I'm going to say something people might not be comfortable with, but you see, it has come to a time that let's just face it. What is happening? MPP say year of rules. But before MPP came, NDC said they've done more rules, isn't it?
Yes.
And when MPP also came, they said year of rules. Now NDC is a big push.
Yeah.
But still, there are manholes and grace on our rules. Go to Kwabenya. The road that was done 3 years ago. That was done 3 years ago. It's in bad shape now. But I'll plead with the road minister. I'll plead with the road minister, my own brother Abuja. Justice. The Pachi road, they should stop it. Those who are going around with bitumen and filling this and that, they got in contract, they should stop it. Do you know why?
Why?
The Kwabenya one that was done last month is all gone. It's causing financial loss to the state.
That is true.
So maybe even if the money is small and we can construct a proper road like this, 2 kilometers, is better than giving to these contractors, small contractors that they will mix dirty oil and go and fix it. One heavy rain, it washes everything away. And in fact, the engineers of this country are doing a disservice to us. Because they go to clear the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
They said they are okay, then they raise the certificate and everything and go and take it. So when you do that, and then roads goes bad again, sick people, pregnant women, some people get miscarriage because of the bumps on the road. Don't you have conscience? Those doing those shoddy works, don't they have conscience? I'm telling you, the Kwabenya was very, because just last month, they were very busy, and I was telling myself, oh, this road will be better now. Now go there and see. So which means they are not using good materials to fix the road. I'm not talking about the construction of the main road, but the patch they are doing, as somebody will say, filling the pothole. And I was told that they don't use the proper thing, that they mix with dirty oil. So they go to the fitting shops and buy all the dirty oils and come and mix. So why are you doing this? If somebody should lose his life because of your negligence, don't you know that the blood will be on your hands? Do we have conscience? Most people or most contractors, do we have conscience? Yesterday when I was going to talk, DK, my friend, was saying that it is the government that will come and tell you exactly. And I'm saying no government will come and tell you that mix dirty oil with chippings and go and feed the road. No. So I think as we are doing and going to collect our monies, let's do it the right way. So the posterity will judge us.
Right.
We say, oh, okay, this person did this road. Oh, and the road is still. All the roads in Kwabenya have gone bad. All. The main one from the roundabout to a place called Above Junction is all gone. Now there's new roads they've constructed within the houses too. It's all gone bad. So what kind of constructions were done? What kind of construction is that? You just do it. You see, for me, if we can look at our transportation system very well, do you know what is disturbing Ghanaians? One, our transportation, health, food matter. If we're able to address these three, I'm not saying the others are not, but nobody will shout.
Right.
Because what's sorry on the power then you have a smooth journey, traveling without any pains in your bones. Because now they are saying drug abuse, you shouldn't have but by all means you take a painkiller. Because if you're having headache or your body is, you take painkiller. So I think let's look at our transportation system. And my fear, justice, is the way these big trucks meander through small vehicles in this country. We must have a lane for big trucks, as is done in other jurisdictions. Yesterday like this, if you see the number of big trucks on the Pokwasi to Accra Road, it will shock you. In hundreds, they are just there. So even if they bring a bus, and the bus wants to take people to ministries for all of them to go to work. Yesterday I gave some 2 ladies lifts. The other one lives in Tema. That she has never experienced this because it takes her only 10 minutes to get to her work. But she came to visit a sister. Me too, my congregation, I gave them lift. The other one is a teacher. And she was telling herself that how can she start her class today? I left them around 9:15 at old station. So maybe it will take her another 30 minutes to get to, or maybe 10, because she said, oh, maybe do 10 o'clock. So how many lessons can she teach? So I think let's look at the way we construct our roads, because the way we do our roads are terrible. Look at this Pokwasi road. I don't know what is happening to the contractor. He's doing the work thought to thought.
Yeah.
Thought to thought. Just as I've never seen this kind of road construction, only in Ghana. Then you construct a road, maybe 1 kilometer, I'm just giving an example, then you leave it. In between you have about 3 kilometers and done. Then you go and continue 1 kilometer. Even common sense, me, I'm not an engineer or I'm not an expert when it comes to road, but almost erosion will set in. And it will even cause harm to the well done one.
Yeah.
That's me, my common destiny analysis. So for me, the way our roads are being constructed, and if you are not ready to do the road, why do you come and grade it, remove the ones that were already there, and then you've left it,
making it on more trouble?
I'm telling you, it's a serious thing. That our road there, you know, now there we are blessed up to the interchange. I take a detour right,
Yes.
but when you are traveling to Kumasi, or if I'm going to visit my daughter who is in Nsawam, I feel it. Yesterday like this when she came, Mommy, you didn't come. I said, hey, Charlie, somebody, I just came from Kumasi.
Yeah.
And I imagine driving this pickup to Nsawam to see you. I said, I'm sorry, but Charlie, your mother age is catching up with me. My bones are not like before.
Yeah.
Because it's more than bone shaker. You know, in the olden days, there's a car called bone shaker.
Yes.
In secondary school, it's a bone shaker. Why bone shaker? We use it to go for inter-schools and this.
I know that car.
You understand?
Yes.
That one, it doesn't shake us like the way these rules are shaking us. So I think let's look at our transportation industry. You know, about this fuel increments, whether we like it or not, Prof is saying we shouldn't politicize it. As for politicization of the fuel things, NDC and MPP, if you people have seen that that is not the way to go, then you say, welcome, my dear. Because the way these two political parties have taken fuel matter, meanwhile, it is now that we are producing, or we will even control it. Do we?
Yeah, not at all.
How many percentage comes to Ghana?
It's just about 10 or 12%.
And then you don't control we have a open market economy. We've opened our economy. Wow, anything that comes in. So for me, let's look at the way we are going to build our economy, make sure Ghanaians control most of our resources, because when they get the money, it will stay here. Nobody will repatriate the money anywhere.
Right.
Look, before Mugabe exited, you know, they have uranium there, isn't it?
Yes.
Platinum. He said, if you cannot mine it here, I think it's about 50-something% is left in the country. Even the rest profit, you cannot just get up and sell or take it away and go and sell. There were some mechanisms or measures put in place. So, as Ghana, we are not the only country in Africa whereby God will just bless us like that. We have manganese, bauxite, gold, diamond. I remember we went to a program at, is it National Theatre or Conference Center sometime back, and then this Roman Catholic Pamabakel or something. He was cracking a joke that he has a friend in Burkina Faso who was saying that that God is not fair at all. He said, why? That Ghana has gold and now they are giving us oil. But look at Burkina Faso, they don't have what we have. And look at how this young man is developing his country. Now even tomatoes, he said he won't allow it to go out. He has built a tomato factory. Everything that they're going to process it there, maize, everything. Yeah. So if a Sahara country, let me put it that way, because that time we were calling it Sahara Desert, can do this, Ghana, we can do better. We can do better, because if we add value to our produce, most of our young people will be retained to work and improve our law. Because Africans and for that matter, Ghanaians are making wonders across the globe. Maybe if they find Ghana conducive, they'll bring their expertise back into our country and develop our country, so that we won't go to South Africa and we will be chased out like animals. So if the GPRT are saying that the 30% or 20% did not approve it, I can tell them that it is already been implemented. Because even before the announcement, we can only talk about where I stay. That's Pokwasi.
Yeah.
They charge 3 fares before you get to Pokwasi. And then if, you know, this transportation that we're talking about, especially the buses, how come that OA, VIP, and all those private things are booming? But if it comes to government one, there's a challenge. STC is having a challenge. People are even saying that now most people it's a private owned. They take that it's like franchise. You take it there. And the last thing I want to say is about the road again. If we can contract any country, now we are very friends with the Chinese. Look at how they do their roads. If they are going to say, oh, let's do this for 10 years, we're going to do, and they can use less than 2 years to fix all the roads in Ghana.
Yeah.
Do you know that? They can do that. And then maybe it will be like BOT, operate it for some time and then give it back to Ghana. Maybe it can work. Because we'll do this construction less than 10 years, all the roads are back to square zero. Square zero. So that's my take on it.
All right, thank you so much, Hajia. Let me take a few of our messages, then I come back to the last topic for us to wrap up. This message says, why would the NDC amend the LGBTQ bill that was already passed for the former president to sign? They told Ghanaians that they would sign it as soon as they came to power. So what has changed? You can trust John Mahama and his NDC party. They are all liars. Just look at what they've done to our cocoa farmers, teachers and nurses. Well, I think many Ghanaians will advise themselves and realize that voting for a political party or president is not a child's play. It can have a serious impact on your life. So next time, you should think twice before you cast your vote. Greetings to Asanteman Kuka and Honorable Eric Nana Ajiman Prempe MP for Ahafuano North. Okay, thank you so much for your message. This one says, good morning. I am Eben from Kwabenya. If Honorable Fojo thinks misinforming the public can add any votes to the MPP come next elections, then he needs to come again because the voter knows best. Greetings to Honorable Julius Deborah, Chief of Staff, Honorable Peter Kwesi Mensah of Tema Shipyard, and Honorable MC Agbo of Gan East. Thank you so much for your message. This one says, the current Speaker of Parliament, Abang Bagwe, has exposed the ruling government led by President John Dramani Mahama over the clandestine passage of a LGBTQ bill with 34 members of Parliament without his knowledge. This action appears to be a partisan move favoring party loyalists at the expense of the general populace. As of now, the dollar stands at 11.5 and fuel prices have skyrocketed, with electricity rates increasing by 28%. It seems this administration believes it is above scrutiny. The good people of Ghana, however, are discerning. Why did you abandon the Agenda 111 buildings project and divert taxpayers' funds to construct 24-hour economy market? What is the rationale behind this insensitive decision? 2028 is not too far. Regards to Dr. Bawumia, the next president, Samuel Osesa Akodie, and then Hajia Muhammad and Atiki Yakubu. All right, thank you so much for your message. This one is from Musa Abatwa. He is in Kumasi. He says, I am impressed with the way the current parliament is discharging its duties and addressing important national issues. With the anti-LGBTQI bill now passed, many Ghanaians will be keen to see the position of the MPP, considering that it failed to become law during the administration of former President Akufo-Addo. If assented to by President Mahama, the bill will become part of Ghana's laws, making a significant legislative milestone. Reverend Tim Fordjoy and his MPP raised no objection during the committee meeting, but now but are now making political excuses to cover up their failure to sign the LGBTQI bill into law when they were in government. Ghanaians have seen how narrow-minded they are through their actions and inactions. All right, thank you so much for that message. This one says, we should even stop using the MTN network and never pay their loans seriously, and okay, and stop them from operating in the country. Togbe, Ghana, watching. All right, thank you so much for your message. This one says, good morning to you all in the studio. I strongly support Hajia that we Ghanaians will not behave like them, but will punish them diplomatically or in a diplomatic way, since our people lost all their businesses over there and came home without a peswa. The South African companies here must be asked to refund these Ghanaians. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your message. This one says, Justice, it is rather the Minister of Transport who is weak, because I don't see a private transport entity increase lorry fares, and the minister will not call them to order and reprimand them for their actions and order them to revert to the old fares. This is not the work of the president. Stephen in Kwabenya sent in that one. This one says, good morning, Justice. I agree with your panelist that the government should increase the fleet of public buses, but it will serve only the intercity routes, and the rural passengers will still be suffering under the private transport operators. The poor condition of our roads are also hindering the transport system. We will get to the ideal space in the future with a reset agenda. Stephen in what sent in that one. Stephen, thank you so much for your message. This one says, Justice, I think the AU and its Pan-African Parliament in South Africa must be scrapped because they are useless entities wasting our taxes on them. The South African president has been irresponsible, callous, and does not have what it takes to be president. Ghanaians should heed the call of the government not to travel to that country. By the way, I want to know if the tricycles and Okada bill has been passed by Parliament, has been transmitted to the president and has failed to assent to it. I also want to know why Afenyo Marking is working free after slapping a police officer without prosecution. I am highly disappointed in the Attorney General Ayini for the cherry picking in the prosecutions. Good morning to you and to your panelists. Charles Echiampong Seshi Bebieni Ahianso Bekwai Municipality in the Western North region. Okay, thank you so much for your message. Let me take this last one. This time, time is very precious, so it must not be wasted on listening to MPP whose government is destroyed, or whose government has destroyed the economy to the level of total destruction through their recklessness, incompetence, and an unprecedented corruption. Asanko in Santa Maria sent in this one. So let's do our last topic and wrap up. Tor posts 1.24 billion Ghana cedis profit in 2025 as Siga Hills historic financial turnaround. Prof.
Well, I mean, for me, that is just part of the reset agenda, as I indicated earlier on. Previously, we saw that Tor owed so much. In fact, at a point, it's like Tor was virtually collapsed.
Right.
But this government has come and said Ghana, and we are seeing a lot of progress or improvement. In fact, institutions that saw losses, we are now seeing a lot of profits. ADB, I think not too long ago, also shared their profits, quite high amount. I'm not able to remember the figure outright. But just to say that shares in the eyes of the general public that it is the responsibility of every government to make sure that every citizen enjoy the prosperity that we all deserve for ourselves.
Right.
And so they are doing everything to make sure that that prosperity affects everyone. TOR is a very strategic institution, as I indicated earlier on, that we are talking about refining our oil and putting back these into the system. That would avoid or will prevent other countries into the country if we are to import oil here. And so if we refine our own oil, then we will kind of get some relief of the experiences that we are having of fuel prices or oil price going up, and so it affects it affects us here also. But just to say that yes, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama promised that he was going to put things right, and he's doing just that. Not too long ago, we saw, in fact, in the public or the Auditor General reports, billions of Ghana cedis, lost through a number of institutions because of misappropriation and also certain things that were not done right. I am not saying that this particular government, we may not see any of that, but we can see that most of the institutions that recorded losses or indicated bankruptcy, we are now seeing these institutions, making profits. And this is just because these individuals are not just there to work in their own benefit, as we saw in the previous administration, that even their own members were complaining that they were looting state funds as if there was no tomorrow. This current government is not here to loot Ghanaians' funds as if there's no tomorrow. They have come to build this nation, and TOR is a typical example of a nation, or a typical example of what we talk about building a nation. Taking an institution from a ground level and putting it at where it is currently, just like the economy. Before NDC took over the reign of this country, Ghana was almost like a bankrupt economic country. Today, we are seeing positive signs, and Fish even now rating us to a B level, because of course we saw what happened. The dollar was almost at 17. It came as low as 9 point something. Now we are seeing some increase, but all I am saying is that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama have given all these institutions mandates. The mandate is to make sure that institutions that saw losses, they need to work hard to make sure that they fix the problem so that we can see profits. TOR is an example. ADB, as I indicated, Gold Board is an example, and a number of institutions. So this is just to tell Ghanaians that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is delivering on his promise of prosperity, his promise of good governance, his promise of setting this country, or setting the country, as we've always said, that the certain agenda, and that is exactly what we are doing. So I want to say kudos to the MD of TOR, and we expect more of that, and also the other institutions who are also working hard. We expect that they also share the progress they are making so that Ghanaians will know that NDC did not just promise, but we are delivering on our promise. And again, come 2028, it will just be a thumb up for NDC to continue the governance of this country, because we can all feel the positive impact of good governance, the positive impact of a visionary leader, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who is driving this country to the promised land.
All right, thank you so much, Prof, for your submission. Haja, can you take us on?
Tor, who is the managing director of Tor?
Is
that where combat is?
Yeah,
Combat,
that's combat. Yeah.
Currently, what are they doing? Because I just heard that they are making profit. Are they refining?
I think they are refining.
Now they are refining?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why. You see, a national asset like Tor shouldn't be idle, because it's a strategic investment of the country. And if you have somebody like Young Combat and his deputy, Alhaji Maslok, you know, Mustafa, because of the Maslok he has worked, they call him Alhaji Maslok. Now even the Tor doesn't even come.
It's true.
What they are doing with their members there, I think they need commendation. And this is how state institutions should be run. You know, we're talking about private transportation doing better than government owned. But in this case, this is something that everybody is happy about, with what Combat and his team are doing with Tor. I will pray that the oil we are getting from this country, we should be able to refine it here, and even some countries nearby who are also into exploration will also even bring their crude oil here for us to refine instead of them taking it away. You see, when we do that, then we get something out of it and develop our nation. Any institution that is doing well, I, Haja Hamdatu, sitting here, will always applaud those who are doing, and those who are not doing well, we'll talk about it, because that is how it's supposed to be. That the eyes does not see itself, if not by reflection of a different object. If you have a situation whereby everybody will just say, oh, there's nothing wrong with this governance, everything is going smooth, so which means we are not being fair or truthful. Me, I always tell people that if I have a friend who is always telling me you've never gone wrong, I will stop befriending you, because maybe I wouldn't know what I'm doing or wrong, because maybe I think I'm perfect, I'm doing it well. But you see, people succeed when they open their doors for suggestions and advice. So I think that is what Tor has done. That's why we are hearing about Tor. But as for other places, you not hear this same story. I think if the NDC are promising the reset agenda that they want all of us to believe, that is where the focus should be. But before you realize, as you are talking about Tor, I'm just praying, today is Tuesday.
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday, we shouldn't hear about any arrest that would divert our attention into how their people are being handled. You understand my point?
Very well.
That's how they are. Do you see that they'll be doing something? Everybody will do before they realize they'll do something. I don't know whether it's intentional. Some people don't want us to concentrate on what DM is doing. Then they'll bring some diversional tactics. And then, you see, no, it's your people. It's your people who are. Is it people who are arrested? Is it people who are arrested? You see, she's not getting me.
If the people are breaking the law.
No, let me tell you.
Don't say that.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But saying Dumso has come back shouldn't warrant an arrest. That is my candid opinion. Even they themselves are divided. You understand?
So who said Dumso is bad?
I don't know. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that this is a very friendly advice. If you are doing something, concentrate on that.
Okay.
Because if you are going to say maybe this MPP did this, so we also did it, then why did you get that vote? Why were you what people gave you massive support and vote? It's because they bought into your idea of saying that you are going to reset the country, isn't it? So let's assume, without admitting, that MPP arrested people without this thing, and so you also come and do it. Even their own people are complaining that this big this thing, and so it is not fair. So for me, what I'm saying is that Prof should understand me. If you are doing something, concentrate on that, and for us to be talking positive. But before you read that Psalms, I only said a prayer. Didn't I pray? I said today is Tuesday. I'm just praying that we'll have a clean week without any because at times it's so irritating. Hausa people said, I've been the bit taka kara ya kariba.
What does it mean?
You see, kara is thick, depending on the side of the stick. That's something which does not even be able to break a stick. Shouldn't bother me. You understand my point? It's a proverb. I don't know how to say it.
You don't pay attention to things that are not necessary.
Okay. Yes, you can paraphrase. You can explain it in that way. So for me, Tor Combat is a brother. Mustafa is a brother. They are doing a yeoman's work with the able help of the ladies who are working there. I know some ladies who are also working there. I think, you see, justice. People should understand me. I'm a different politician. What is good, I'll say it too. If it's not good, I'll say it.
Okay.
Even if you're my friend, I'll tell you. But maybe I cannot come and sit on television and mention names that maybe I've gone to them privately in our political circles. I'm not saying about NDs, but in our political to maybe say that this is what I think you are doing that is not good. Or maybe this is what you are doing that is good. So please continue on that thing. That is how it should be.
Yeah.
Because if you don't advise, the Quran and Bible say that we should pray for our leaders. And no matter how tiny a bird is, you cannot eat it with his feathers. Maybe God has elevated you to become somebody. Should I say that because I'm in politics 30 years, so I cannot take advice from you who has just come or something, or maybe because of the position you have, I should say that I won't go in to seek for any opportunity for any of my children. Me, I won't do that to God. I want Ghana to succeed. The current leader, I want him to leave a legacy. The next person coming should leave a legacy. It shouldn't always be negative. I mean, that is my political business. It shouldn't be negative. And anybody who will sit on set and say this particular president or this particular has not done anything, he's a big liar. He's a big liar. Because everybody from Nkrumah to today, they have done something. Even the military rulers, they've done something. Look at what a champion did for Ghana. I was a kid, but I remember Operation Feed Yourself. So it is very, very important that an organization like, institution like TOR, when they are doing well, they've shown the profit that they've made, and so on and so forth. We should applaud them and encourage them because they are young. You understand? Because they are young people. Young people, if they are given opportunity, should show examples. Let's feel the tangible. Let's see it. What you are doing. It inspires leaders to give more opportunities to younger people. If they give it to a young person and the person goes to grief, if an old man does it, they don't see it. They say, you see the youth, they say we should give them, look at what they are doing. So that is my prayer for TOR to succeed and all of the organizations of this country. Because Ghana, one party, there was no queue for NDC, MPP, CPP, no. The fuel, if it's going up, we'll all go there. If rice is expensive, we'll all go there. If water, if we can't get water, it is all of us. So maybe if you think, I think I can get my water in my Kwabenya base, and then I'm thinking of my people in the villages. We shouldn't just think of ourselves, but other people who are vulnerable, especially in society. So if TOR has made profit, they should use some of the profit to go and develop our communities.
Well, thank you so much, Haji. I'm so grateful for your submission.
I realize they are giving me PPP. We didn't talk about the LPG.
Unfortunately, it's already 10, and Prof has to also
go to the class.
But I personally agree with you, Haji, that Edmond Combat, as young as he is, must be commended for the good work that he's doing at TOR. In fact, ever since he was appointed into that office and position, his only work is to ensure that TOR has been able to generate some revenue for this country. In fact, he's been making profits upon profits all this while, and I think that he must be commended. Other CEOs should learn from Combat and then ensure that they help the government, because by all means they'll be reshuffling to be fruitful. Right. Okay.
Because so many people are there, capable ones. They didn't get posts. If you are misbehaving, any chief executive, Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama, all the institutions monitor them. If they are not, change them and bring some fresh distance to help.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof, for coming. Thank you so much, Hajia. I'm so grateful for your time. This is what time will allow us to make a time with us. Same time tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.